were we just talking about, though? Because I kind of wanted
The
to include
clap.
it. No, it's
Ugh.
not what we were just talking about.
The name.
Yes, the day before that, though. It's okay. Welcome back, everybody, to the morning after. It's been a little bit since I've seen your face, which I've missed you. You look beautiful. Also, I'm into the minis. Hank is drinking a mini. Is it Diet Coke or Dr. Pepper?
Yeah, mini.
Diet Coke. That's smart. I don't think they make minis in the cherry Coke, though. You know what I mean?
I think they do. I believe they do.
Cherry Coke Zeros.
But now you're getting crazy. I
Well,
don't know
I
about
know.
all that.
I can't go full-fledged. Full-leaded?
No.
Full-leaded.
Yeah.
That's what I'm looking for. Full-leaded Coke because, either way, though, I like diet over regular. What do you feel? I can't drink regular Coke.
I'm the person who wanted to start a Diet Coke support group because I make my way through the McDonald's. The fountain is, there's no comparison to the fountain to this.
I agree.
But
and
I feel so crazy driving through the McDonald's, ordering a medium diet or sometimes a large, and then charging a Diet Coke.
I was talking to, I think it was Trevor Plouffe about this, who's a good friend of ours, and he knows how much I love my sodas. And he was like, why? Like, have you thought about putting a fountain machine in your house? And I was like, no, because that is very dangerous. That's like wake up, pop a cup underneath, get some ice, get some Diet Coke, and that's now my new coffee, which, let's be honest, coffee's not great for you either, but we know it's better than Diet Coke.
You like that latte thing, though, or something, right? Don't you get a latte?
I love a soy latte.
Yeah, a soy latte, yeah.
You know what? And I don't know what it is, but from Starbucks, it's just naturally sweet. You don't have to add anything to it, but their soy milk, for some reason, is sweeter than any other soy milk that I've come across.
Okay, so this, I think, needs to be investigated. And I'm calling on the highest levels of Doge or whatever it is. Needs to look into this. I buy my Starbucks pods, which I enjoy thoroughly. I'm a Pike drinker, or sometimes a Verona. Pike Place. Okay. I make it here in my house with my new pod thing that Judge bought me, and it's wonderful. When I go to the Starbucks and I order the same coffee, it tastes 100 times better.
It's freshly brewed, right? Isn't that why?
I'm brewing it fresh here with my pod.
Maybe the beans are grinded fresher. I don't know. That's a good question. Is it Dodge or Doge?
It's Doge. I don't think that if that starts hitting their radar, then I'm telling you, things are gone crazy. But I believe everything you drink, eat, consume there intentionally tastes a little bit better to bring you back in.
I mean, it's smart. Right? It would be dumb to make your stuff good that people could just brew at home. Because let's be honest, when you go into the store, I'm going, all right, let me get my soy latte. And then I'm looking around and going, ooh, I might take the petite vanilla scone or the egg bites. Otherwise, I'm not getting that if I'm brewing it at home. So it's kind of smart. I mean, they know what they're doing.
Well, that's why I order from home so I can limit what I'm getting. But if I bring Emma in there, I'm leaving with a cake pop. I'm leaving with a muffin. I'm leaving with who knows?
Well, just bring your little no button. Just hit it when she asks for something.
No.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, no.
I mean, honestly, that button sounds like your voice, so it's pretty great. All right, let's get into our It's a Lots right off the bat. What do you have for me?
My It's a Lot is a good thing. It was great, but it was lot. Ooh. And it was my daddy-daughter dance, which I loved. But I leaned really hard into the theme, which was a night in Paris. And I think I overdid it. I put a beret on her head. I put an Eiffel Tower dress on her. And some kids did not elevate to sticking to the theme. I pretended it was my elementary version of the Met Ball. And if we didn't stick to the theme, Anna Wintour was kicking ass. So I stuck to it.
You weren't going to be invited back next year. You didn't stick to the theme.
I was worried.
Oh, no one else had a hat on?
None of the girls that were her age. Now, some of the 4th and 5th graders had a beret, but what I noticed about the older girls is they had on really chic, Chanel looking suits with little bags. And I'm like, wow, they have really elevated this. So I
think
also had a beret hidden in my back pocket because I was going to rip it out if other dads had something on, but nobody did. So I was like, I don't want to be that one dad. Like,
oh
and
my
they
God,
come
you for sure should have been the one dad. Absolutely.
no.
Now, wait, was Jeff with you or did you just go?
No, I just went. I think he was out of town, but she had the time of her life. And to me, there's nothing better. And the dads are great. I love all the dads in my group. You
That's
know, a
great.
lot of like a straighty corporate type dudes, you know, and there's
Yeah.
nothing better to me than when they're all dancing to Pink Pony Club. And I'm like, these mofos have no idea the song is about a gay bar in Hollywood.
Oh,
And they're all like,
no, I know.
Pink Pony Club. I'm like, yeah.
They're like hoisting you up in the middle. You're like, all right.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Wait, I'm really jealous about this though, because I don't know if it is a California thing or if it is just a Eastern Coast thing. Father-daughter dances, there haven't been any that I'm aware of in California. Kira,
Really? No, there's
yeah,
got to
Kira's
be.
shaking her head. No, I don't. I think it is like a East Coast. I thought it was a Southern thing, but now you're telling me the Midwest does it. So that's why I was like, oh, it's just like a Southern situation, like you have cotillion and things
Yeah.
like that.
No.
But no, they don't have them out here.
Yeah, no, I just saw photos of friends of mine from New York who had a daddy-daughter dance. So maybe it's I don't know, maybe it's not maybe we bring daddy-daughter dances to California.
I mean, I would love that because you know what that means? A night to myself. Matthew takes all the girls for the daddy daughter, and I get a night alone. And that to
Yeah.
me sounds fantastic. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I felt that from a lot of the dads. I felt like kind of like, we got to stay here as long as humanly possible because my wife is home, whatever.
Yeah. Wanting
And
nothing to do with us.
yeah, they deserve it. So yeah, while it was a lot and while I was a lot with it, it was also
Yeah.
wonderful and bravo to all the moms, trust me, it was the moms who worked their butts off to put the daddy-daughter dance together because it was
Yeah.
beautifully decorated. Unless they had some other gay dad there doing the flowers. I'm not sure, but it was very well executed. So bravo.
Are there any other gay dads at the school that you know of?
I don't know of a gay dad, but I do know two mommies.
Okay.
And they're very nice. And so yeah, no, not that I'm aware of.
So I guess they don't do the daddy daughter, or could they send like a grandfather?
Oh,
You know what I mean?
yeah, I don't know.
And why isn't
I
there a
am I
mother's
am
son dance?
LGBTQ stumped, and that's I don't know.
What about a mother's son dance? I've never heard of those, and I think that's a little sad. What about the sons? What about the moms that want to go to dance?
I heard of a mother son dance.
You did.
Or maybe I'm confusing that with something else. Now here's the problem. Now I'm drinking this Diet Coke and I'm burping my head off because I have all this.
I agree. They do give you the burpees.
The burpees.
I'm right there with you. Sometimes I get an acid reflux too. Not great. But I'm so addicted I can't stop. So there's that.
Oh, whoa, wait.
Yes,
wait.
a prop. I'm so excited. Here he goes. He's off. And he's what?
Okay.
What was that?
I thought I have something in the oven, and when I do this podcast, I have to do not disturb, so I couldn't set a timer on my phone. And then I was like, I'm going to blow this house up because I'm going to forget that this thing is in the oven. So I wrote a big Post-it note in front of my face, and I remember.
Well, I'm proud of you. What are you cooking?
Well, guess what, everybody? I'm vegan again. So I'm back to eating something that's horrendous and it's going to be awful. Yeah. Remember the good old days when I was a meat-eating pescatarian?
So now, no chance. How long have you been vegan right now?
This meal's my first one.
Wait. So you've already had something today? You're just starting your vegan journey for dinner?
Before this podcast even rolled, I ate 4 dino nuggets. What you talking about? I'm starting the vegan journey right now.
So what is in the oven? Now I really want to know. Where you don't have to get up. Where are you going? Did you buy it?
Yeah, it's from this wonderful place in Birmingham.
Wait, what's that place called? I remember it.
Yeah, it's called. They don't write the name on the front of it.
Well,
It's right there at Adams, and
yes, that's horrible marketing. But continue. What's in
but
there?
they're all very, very nice, and they're helping me in my vegan journey. I'm eating the lentil sweet potato enchiladas with red pepper, harissa sauce, and rice. Sounds good.
It sounds good if you can pronounce all of it.
Yeah, but it sounds really good. And what is the name of that place?
I don't know. It is great though. But how expensive is that?
Order, heat, repeat. No, that's not the name of the place. That's the instructions.
No. Excuse me. How expensive was that?
I think this was $12.
Does it serve 2 or 1?
It probably should be 2, but I'm a hungry boy. Listen, here's what I've learned is that all of these meal things, they're all expensive, and $12 is a lot. But if you're talking about like a main meal of the day and the rest of it you can kind of work around, then and if it's healthy and it's low sodium, it's all the things, maybe $12, like if you eat a couple of them.
No, I don't think $12 is crazy. Like I mean,
it's
for
not
a meal,
crazy.
I think that's honestly pretty good. I mean, you go through McDonald's these days and you spend $8 on a damn Happy Meal. So
I mean, this would be $47,000 at Erewhon in Los Angeles.
1,000%. Like, no, I mean, a sip of a smoothie is $12. So there's that. So Matthew was going through my vitamin drawer the other day and he was like, what is this fatty 15? And I told him, I was like, well, have you heard of C15? And he said, no. And I told him it was an essential fatty acid. And to be honest, it was 3 times broader, better, and safer than omega-3. He kind of looked at me and questioned it, but then he looked it up. But it turns out most of us are deficient in C15, which results in weak cells that make less energy and quit working earlier than they should. All of that makes us age faster, sleep poorly, feel sluggish, the whole thing. So what's great about fatty 15 is it is 100% pure. C15 is the only ingredient in it. Fatty 15 is on a mission to replenish your C15 levels and restore your long-term health. You can get an additional 15% off their 90-day subscription starter kit by going to fatty15.com/morning and using code morning at checkout. Funny thing about that is Matthew just used this exact code. So again, it is fatty15.com/morning or use that code morning at checkout. All right.
It's a lot. Yeah.
So turns out I was showering before this podcast and I was trying to think, because like I feel like every day I'm going, God, it's a lot. But at the same time, I can never remember them. And I really need to start writing everything down. I've gotten really bad about that. But it's a lot. And I heard somebody say this, and it is so true. If you're a woman listening to this, and I want to ask you about this, Hank, but not about this, but something after. But if you're a woman, there are 3 types of showers that women take. Okay? There are. Are you ready? The first one is just a rinse, okay? You just rinse your body, your face, you're done. The second one is a rinse and shave, okay? So you rinse, you shave, whatever you might shave. And then the third one is a rinse, a hair wash, and a shave, okay? There's balloons on our screen. I don't know. It's crazy. But that third one, okay, takes quite some time. It's kind of like the reset of the week. You know what I mean? You're cleaning everything head to toe. Now, I wash my hair maybe once a week because honestly,
me too. Twice.
Yeah. Really? For a dude?
Yeah, maybe twice, maybe 3 times if I'm using like my hair stuff to make my hair not fall out.
Well, that's why your hair looks great because you don't wash it that often.
No,
you
maybe
get these
twice,
natural oils.
twice a week. Yeah.
Yes. Okay. So my it's a lot is I will be in the shower. Now, the reset shower, we're going to call it the reset shower, where you're really just getting ready. You might not do this, but once a week. I do this once a week because I wash my hair basically once a week. The reset shower takes about 20 minutes, give or take. Okay. Which is a lot of time in the shower if you think about it. But I shave, I shave. So I'm just going to leave it there. Too much is too much. But my husband will come in after 5 minutes and be like, are you done yet?
Oh.
I'm like, excuse me. This is my reset shower. And he's like, what the hell is that? I said, listen, you know what? You don't want to know because it is a lot. Because I'm shaving every hair on my damn body. I'm washing every hair on my damn body. And then I got to wash my body and my face and everything else. It takes some time. And it's a lot because it fucking is annoying. I don't know about you, Kiera. How often do you wash your hair? Yo.
Me?
Yes, you.
Oh my gosh, like week and a half, but I have curly hair.
Okay.
So it really
how long does that shower take you? Now, when you wash your hair, do you also shave?
No, I wax. I'm a waxer.
Oh, young
She
bitches.
didn't know you were talking to her because you said her name wrong.
I hate you.
Yeah, I
Now
will
wait
no
a minute.
longer
I would
respond.
think that the majority of your life though is 2-minute showers.
Yes.
I mean,
Yes.
barely.
Like, I have to log it into my schedule when I'm
Yes.
doing the reset shower. But I also don't need someone coming in asking me if I'm almost done, because you know what? That's when I nick myself. That's when I forget to do shampoo and I just do conditioner and then my hair is oilier than everywhere. I mean, I just need that time, but it is a lot because every 20 minutes, to get 20 minutes to yourself, it's hard. And half the time my girls are in there with me because I'm like, you know what? I'm resetting, you're resetting. Not even kidding. We reset together. They just don't shave. They play in the shower while I wash my hair or while I shave. And then we all wash our hair. We all do the whole thing. And we're at the age now where obviously Matthew can't help me. So it's kind of we're all in the shower, all 5 of us together. And we are very blessed to have a good shower. I knew that was coming, you asshole. I knew that was coming, okay? I mean, screw you. But
It's beautiful. But
yes.
I need to defend Matthew for one moment.
Of
and
course.
This is why I think he doesn't get it. Having been in those locker rooms before, those guys barely put soap on their bodies
It's disgusting.
afterwards. I know, but listen, they're in these. It sounds like a gay fantasy come true. It's not. It's really gross. They're in these big communal rooms, like the high school gyms, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's nothing attractive about it. They literally get in. They water 2 minutes. They're done because it's just, and they have to go to get on the plane. They have to throw their cleathes on really quick to do media interviews. So I don't think that they really appreciate what
good
the
cleanse.
shower is. Yeah, a good cleanse. I mean, I can remember being in there and just being like, did you even like get soap on your body? I just saw you a second ago. Like, what the hell?
And honestly, they could all probably use an extra minute in the shower. Let's be honest, because that shit is nasty.
But I think that's where it's driven in his head. For 25 years as an athlete, you take a shower after a game and you're 30 seconds.
Yeah. Okay, that's fair. Now, I have a question. When you shave your face, do you shave it in the shower? No. Okay. And do you use like an actual razor? What do you use?
Yeah, like a straight razor.
I don't like a straight razor
because I grow a beard very quickly, and if I don't use straight, it will show up on TV. Like today, I didn't shave so closely, and if I don't use a straight razor in the morning, by 5 p.m., I have a 5 o'clock shadow, which means I have to wear foundation, and Hank doesn't like to wear foundation.
Let me tell you what. By 5 p.m., I have a 5 o'clock shadow too. It's fine. Like, we're in the same boat here. Yeah. I don't know what's going on, but I've also started straight razoring my face. Not really. It's like the dermaplane razor. Yes, I do it.
Rage.
Okay, well, here's something that someone pointed out to me probably 10 years ago. They said, what's the main difference between men and women when it comes to skincare on your face, taking care of your face, right? Well, first of all, men don't do shit and they age better and whatnot. Women do everything they can to stop the aging. They put on all these incredible products, whatever you're doing. And they looked at you and said, the one thing that men do, most men, where you can see their face, is they shave.
Yeah.
They're having a natural exfoliation from the shave. And it's like, or not natural, but it's an exfoliator. Yeah. And just like renewing their skin, whatever. So let me tell you what, 10 years ago, I started dermaplaning my face. Now I get the 5 o'clock shadow.
Wow. I remember it was a long time ago on The Real Housewives of New Jersey, Carolyn Manzo was shaving her face, and it became like an early internet thing. Like, what is she doing? But she said that was the reason she did it. Oh, we'll have to ask Dr. Grecken whether that actually does anything. But it makes sense because you're turning over your cells and renewal and
And you think skin products go on better, makeup goes on better. Like, it's a whole thing. And now you have estheticians dermaplaning. In general, people will come in and for facials, they'll dermaplane them, which is the same thing. It's probably a little, better when they do it than me. Just I probably, I don't know. It's probably dirty and all those things, but it has I've known I love the feel of afterwards. It's like a great exfoliant, and then all my products I just seep into my skin. So,
So you
there's
don't
that.
use you're not using like a Bic razor. You're
No,
using
no.
dermaplane thing.
But I probably could be using a Bic razor. I mean, what the fuck's the difference? Who knows? I don't know. But it's a dermaplaning razor, so it's great. I honestly love it and been doing it for a long time, ever since I was told that. And then dermaplaning, now there's like a term for it, so I don't say shaving my face. I can say I dermaplaned yesterday.
Yeah, it sounded so fancy. I was like, oh, you must have done that in Beverly Hills.
Yeah, totally. I must have paid $1,000 to get my face shaved,
Yeah, holy
Probably.
cow.
So yes. Anyways, I always wonder that because Matthew doesn't really shave his face. He takes that electric, whatever the fuck that is. I don't get those, by the way. I don't understand them. I don't understand how they work. They're like you have a certain length.
Yeah.
What does that even mean?
A buzzer. I had to go full Monty.
Whoa.
Yeah. Full
Whoa.
I was doing this last night, and Judge was like, what are you doing? And because today I had a stress test, and they put those stickers on your titties. And then when they rip them off, if you have hair, it just really hurts. So I learned to go full.
That's smart.
No hair.
All right, y'all. We're all busy. And you know what? Sometimes we just grab something to eat quickly because it's the easiest thing to do without really keeping our goals in mind or just our health in mind. And this is why I love Tempo meals. I've been crushing them as of late because with Tempo meals, you don't have to compromise even if you're in a hurry. They are made with real ingredients. It's a weekly delivery service that delivers chef-created meals from your dietitian approved menu fresh to your door. They are never frozen, and they have, preferences like protein packed, calorie conscious, carb conscious, and fiber rich, so you can maintain your goals even if you're in a hurry. For a limited time, Tempo is offering my listeners 60% off your first box. Go to tempomeals.com/Kelly. Real quick, I forgot to mention, last week I had their pesto salmon, which was honestly incredible. And I also had their chicken and garlic cream sauce. I mean, guys, I can't tell you, both of them cooked under 5 minutes and they were honestly delicious. So that's tempomeals.com/Kelly for 60% off your first box. Tempomeals.com/Kelly. Rules and restrictions may apply. Speaking of, real quick, you just said bald. It reminded me of a story. I was tugging Hunter in the other night and she was like, Mommy, I said, a bunch of prayers today. And I was like, what? Oh, okay. What were you praying for? And she goes, for the bald people. And I was like,
I hope she said my name because I'm popping the 4 Nutrafol horse pills a day. I'm doing everything I can.
Same. No, but it was actually, so I was like, the bald people, what do you mean? Are you praying that they get hair? She was like, and now this is where I had to stop laughing, and you will too. But she was like, no, for the sick people who don't have any hair. Because we had talked about, we met somebody who has a child going through cancer. They don't have hair. And so I had to kind of explain to my kids, this is why. And we had to kind of have that conversation. And so she a week later was like, Mommy, I prayed for, but at first I did what you did. I started giggling. She was like, why are you laughing? I was like, well, what are you praying they get? She was like, hair. And I was like, I mean, it's very nice. She's like, no, Mommy, the people that are sick. And I was like, oh. I was like, God, that is very sweet, sweetheart.
Very sweet. Yes. What a sweet little girl.
Yes. But at first it was funny, and then it was sweet.
Funny.
I was like, you know what? You're right, girl.
Next week, she's going to be like, I'm praying for people with wrinkles. You're like, okay, let's go.
You're praying for Mommy? Great. Okay. We had a few things that we wanted to discuss today, which one of them was your little stress test. How did it go? Do you run on a treadmill?
Yeah, you power walk on a treadmill, and I was so stressed out about the actual stress test because I wanted to be a top performer that I just whipped myself into a big tizzy. And then the guy, I'm in the first 2 minutes of it, and I go, how many people have tapped out by now? And the guy goes, oh, a lot. And I'm like, okay, all right, I feel good.
Oh, good. Good,
and so
Hank.
then not even a couple minutes later, he's like, okay, you're almost at 100%. And I'm like, already? I feel what are you talking about? So
wait, how long were you on?
I don't think it was, it didn't seem very long. And so then I texted I'm friends with the doctor, Dr. Kaki, who I love. He's awesome.
Dr. Kaki, like Khaki?
Kaki. Dr. Amir Kaki. Why, do you know
Uh,
Dr. Kaki?
no, I was thinking khaki pants. I thought that was a good name.
Oh,
Okay, continue.
no, no, no,
Continue.
no. But I was like, because I was supposed to meet with him after, but I hadn't had, and I had to have an echo test, a stress test, and blood work. And you can't eat and you can't have anything to drink. And so I hadn't had my morning coffee, and it's like 9:30 in the morning. And I'm like, I need my coffee. So
Yeah,
I
you need your
texted him. I'm
fix.
like, hey, bro, how long until you're actually here? I've wrapped everything up. And he's like, 45 minutes. I'm like, well, I'm going to Starbucks. I'll be back. And then I thought about it. I'm like, why am I seeing him right now? You don't have the results of everything. So then
No,
in my
wait.
own mind, I was like, should I just wait a little bit? I'll come back like when you got everything together. And he's like, okay, that's good. Yeah, whatever.
Wait,
But
why did they want you to see him? I feel like that's very interesting.
I think usually after you do those tests, you just talk to the doctor a little bit. And I mean, I love him. He's a friend of mine. I'd love to see him. But I was like, let's just wait till we have stuff. You
Do
know?
you think they do that because that's an appointment and then they can charge you?
I don't know.
I mean,
not
like an
sure.
appointment with a doctor. You know what I mean? I don't know. Like
Yeah,
insurance
all I could think
wise.
about in that moment was my Starbucks. So
I
I
mean,
needed to get out.
isn't it crazy when when they tell you you have to fast, how much more you focus on it? Like there will be days where I like am in a rush and don't even realize that I haven't had anything to eat or drink until noon, and I'm going, holy shit. But if I am told that I'm like, I cannot have anything, it kills me. I look at everything like a ravenous dinosaur. I'm like, ooh, but with the short arms, you gotta like, you can't get to it. You try really hard, but you can't get there. But like literally, that's how because I'm having to do that. There's these function tests, which I don't know if I've told you about this. Pretty cool, but you can pick a lot of different tests, but you have to fast. It's blood
Yeah,
work.
I've heard about that. Are these like the ones that I see on my Instagram reel? Because now my Instagram reel is all health stuff.
I love you so much because they're a sponsor of the podcast.
Okay, but I'm saying I see them on the Instagram reels, and they test things
Everything.
that you normally don't get tested that are very strong indicators of specific diseases. But insurance companies typically, when you get like a normal blood work done, these things don't hit that.
No, it's not added in. So it's actually really cool. I found out a lot about my hormones recently because I've been going to the OB for a while trying to figure my shit out. And honestly, I got all of my hormones tested, and now I have an insight as to what's going on. And it's nice that I can like figure out a way to fix it. You know what I mean? So
Did you do the part where there's another component to them too, where you can figure out like which foods work for your body and which don't, in burning fat, building muscle? Like it's different for everybody.
yes, I did do that. I haven't gotten those results yet though, but the results are usually pretty quick. So it's pretty awesome. But yes, I had to, that's great. I had to fast for those tests and I was ravenous. I was like, I would wake up immediately be like, oh, I'm hungry because I knew I couldn't eat. It's the worst.
And how long what time was your blood draw?
One of them was at like noon. The other one was at 2.
Ooh.
So that one was tough. Yeah.
No, you got to do like 8 in the morning.
I know, but I have shit going on in the morning, so it's tough for me to do that. How about this? Last night we got home from our ski trip, which was fucking awesome. So we went with some friends, the Ploufs and the Clausens, and we get home last night, and it's honestly my favorite time. Actually, a lot of times, and I'm gonna be very honest with you guys, I miss my kids, but I'm not really like missing you know what I mean? Like I appreciate adult time so much that yes, we will FaceTime, but it's not like, oh, I just want to get home to my kids.
Yeah.
I'm not like that. I'm going to be honest with you. But for some reason, this trip, and I don't know what it was, maybe because it was spring break, so a lot of people had their kids on the mountain, and it made me feel like I want to go home. So we get home, we get on the couch, we're watching Parent Trap. We're all snuggled, the 5 of us, there's 6 of us, the 6 of us together, and George. And we're watching the Parent Trap, which obviously you know that movie with Lindsay Lohan, or not the original, the second one. Right? Isn't there an original with 2 blonde twins?
Oh, I don't know.
No, Lindsay Lohan was in the original.
Are you sure? Kiara's fact checking that.
Yeah.
Kiki's fact checking that. Now I'm so nervous to say your name. But anyways.
Oh, Kelly, you are right.
Yeah, there's an original.
The Parent Trap from 1961, and it's 2 little girls.
And it's adorable. That one's great. But anyways, we're on the couch and I'm like, ooh, I like jump on. I'm like, ooh, Parent Trap. I was like, this is one of my favorite movies. And Chandler's like, me too. And I was like, and now I have my own little twins that could switch places on me, and they're two cute little sisters. Obviously, there's Tyler and Hunter were sitting there, and Chandler looked at me, and she goes, yeah, but it's not the same because you and Daddy will never separate. And I was like, oh, baby. I was like, yes, your daddy and I are very in love. We're okay. And she, like, you could tell she got a little, like, teary at the like, even thought of having to separate. And I was like, girl, yeah, it will never happen. But I feel like you forget how old these kids get so quickly that they digest that. That she's sitting there watching that movie going, like, if I was sitting watching it as an identical twin, I'd be like, how can we fuck shit up? Like, let's switch and figure this out. But she is digesting it as, I hope this never happens because I don't want to be separated.
That's so cute. Yeah, you've got some cuties with some emotions. The other
emotions,
movie that's making a comeback is the Freaky Friday. Do you enjoy the Freaky Friday?
Wait, have they released that new one? They haven't.
The trailer just dropped.
Oh, no, I have not. How does Lindsay Lohan look in this?
Phenomenal.
I'm so happy for her.
Phenomenal.
For her.
Yeah.
I feel like she's done a really good, I don't know, turnaround. Comeback.
Yeah, she got married, had the baby. Sophie allegedly figured out who her plastic surgeon was. So it's a little bit.
Did she tell you?
A little bit out of my budget. But yeah, she looks phenomenal.
Well, I'm gonna have you share that doctor.
Yeah, just, she looks really.
I want to know. Yeah, just in case,
I mean, how old is Lohan? She's not much older than you.
Is she not? She's had a full makeover, and she's not that much. No, I feel like she's
38.
Oh,
38.
Shit. Oh wow, I didn't know that she was that young.
She was living hard though for like a good decade.
I know, all these child movie stars. It's kind of sad. I honestly can only think of like one that's made it out normal.
Who?
Ryan Gosling.
Oh yeah, but he wasn't like he was on the Disney Channel.
He was on Mickey Mouse Club, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, with Justin and Brittany. And Christina.
Okay, never mind. Christy, everyone's just hit this like weird. Either they come back from it or they don't. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I feel like Ryan never hit that weird moment. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he's cute.
Know. Very interesting. All right, y'all. I'm back to tell you about Skims, and I just don't understand if you have not looked at their website why you haven't, because everything I have gotten from there has been honestly. I've thrown out my bras and my underwear that were not Skims, and I've replaced it with all new stuff with the Skims because it is supportive yet comfortable. And I feel like bras are really hard to find that don't make you want to rip them off when you come home, but also give you the support that you need. Skims has found a way to do both. Also, I'm obsessed with their cheeky briefs and their boy shorts. It's a fits everybody style, but they are so incredibly soft. Again, you feel like you're not wearing anything, but you know you are, and you're supported. So I don't know how much I can tell you guys to go there and shop, but shop Skims Best Intimates, including the Fits Everybody collection and more at skims.com and Skims stores. After you place your order, please be sure to let them know that we sent you. Select podcast in the survey, and be sure to select our show in the drop-down menu that follows. So Tyler, I get a phone call. I love how you talk about how my kids are so sweet. Tyler, I get an email from her teacher last week. And I'm using her name because she's still young, because I don't want you guys thinking that one of my older kids did this.
Yeah, that you're calling it out.
Yeah, so I get an email, and Tyler punched a little girl in the stomach at school. Yeah.
Why? What did the little girl do?
Nothing.
Not that justifies it.
No. But obviously that makes it a little better. Let's be honest. I mean, every parent out there is like, please God, tell me that they did something first. Turns out this little girl did not. So they were coloring on the whiteboard, and Tyler loves, this is what she loves to do to her sisters too. It pisses me off. She'll color on top of people's coloring. So she did it to this little girl, and this little girl kindly asked her to stop, and Tyler did not. And the teacher got in between and was like, all right, Tyler, time out. You're not allowed to do whatever. And so then later on, they're in the reading corner or something, and the teacher was like, I noticed their voices got very high. Like they were yelling at each other. And Tyler punched the little girl in the stomach. Guys, how do I parent this? Because I wanted to do the same to my child. And I clearly you can't. But you're
Yeah.
going, what on earth? Like, and I understand she's the youngest and she's got to like, be tough around here. But we have made it very clear that it is never okay to hit anyone or lay hands on anyone. And also another thing with it is someone was like, well, how did you deal with it? Because I feel like by the time she comes home, she's 4. Like, do you think she still knows, or is it tough to, discipline when it's been that long? And in my view, I'm going, maybe if she's 2, but if she's 4, she walked in, I sat her down, I said, what happened? And she told me the story. So clearly she remembers it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Now she left some parts out, some very, parts that were needed in the story. But I just told her, I was like, what were you thinking? And she was like, well, she made me mad. I go, you make me mad? Do you see me punching you? She was like, no. I mean, it's just one of those things where I was mortified. Also, if you're the parent of this little girl and you get an email that says Tyler, I don't think they include last names, but you know who Tyler is in the class, punched your daughter. I mean, are they thinking, God, the staffers are fucking horrible parents? Like, that's all I could think.
He's probably like, well, I mean, she's just watching football film all day and
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I don't know where it came from. I mean,
you handled it the right way, though. And you and Matthew are really good about having serious conversations when they're warranted. And I think when the kids know that moment is happening, they understand the seriousness of it.
I mean, I hope so. I guess we'll find out if she hits someone again. I don't know.
I'd be curious to know how you'd handle this. It's kind of along the lines of how would you parent this, but there was a boy in Emma's class that I knew had been like kind of taunting her. And I did receive an email from the teacher about it. Now let's pretend his name is Tommy.
Okay.
It's not Tommy. I go to read to the class and I see Tommy. And he's being a little disruptive. And I'm like, hey, Tommy.
Oh my God, I love this.
And like, my inner like wanting to beat Tommy up like was coming out, and he did it like 2 or 3 more times, and I was like, Tommy, like that. Actually, the kid looked at me and he goes, I'm not Tommy, he's Tommy. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm yelling at the wrong kid. And I was only being mean to him because I thought he was the one that was like taunting Emma, and it was meantime this other little perfect angel that was sitting there the whole story time. I'm like, my goodness.
You know what? It's really tough as a parent to not get pissed off at little fuckers that mess with your kids. You know what I mean? Like, it's hard. I mean, I hear about people getting like my part of my family, whether it's my brother's kids, sister's kids, aunt's kids, who cares, getting bullied, and I want to go fuck someone up. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm like, absolutely not. Or I just like, where are the parents? Show me the parents. Like, we're going to have a discussion. My kids, luckily, not yet. This has not happened yet where they've gotten bullied. God bless our soul. I pray that they're not the bullies because I would lose my mind. But we haven't had this happen yet. But I pray for myself for when it happens because I'm already hot. Like, when it happens to people I know, like their kids, I'm going, what can I do? A lot of times I'm like, hey, we're going to send Matthew to school to have lunch with your kid. And then when those kids try to come over, Matthew's going to go, no, I don't deal with bullies. Fuck it. Just kill him. Just, be like, sorry, not allowed to sit here.
I would be more scared of you than Matthew.
Well, no, Matthew's not like I'm saying like, oh, Matthew Stafford's here sitting with so-and-so.
No, I know. I'm just saying like if there were a situation where you were going after a bully, like I feel like you'd go like all like, oof. Where Matthew would be like, let's talk about this fight.
Yes, he would
why
be.
you did this, where you'd be like.
No, I mean, listen, this is why I pray for myself because I'd pray for patience and just, calmness so I can handle the situation. But honestly, I will tell you, it'll be interesting to see when one of his daughters gets bullied. Because inevitably it'll happen, right?
Or their heart's broken.
Or someone will hurt their feelings, right? Inevitably this is going to happen. I do feel like Matthew's not going to be the calm Matthew that we are all we all like talk about him being. I feel like that's the one thing you can't do is mess with his daughters. Tyler walked into my bathroom. She goes, "Mommy, what are these?" And she pointed to my vitamins, and they were actually Nutrafol, which I've told you guys about so many times. But she was like, "What are these for?" And I told her, I said, "They're for my hair. They help my hair grow healthy and strong." She said, "Well, I want some." And I said, "Doesn't every woman and man?" Let's get an amen on that, because this stuff has seriously helped my hair in so many ways. It feels stronger, it looks stronger and healthier, and obviously it is growing like no other right now. Honestly, it is incredible. It's the number one dermatologist recommended hair growth supplement brand, trusted by over 1.5 million people. They see thicker, stronger, faster growing hair with less shedding in just 3 to 6 months on Nutrafol. Start your hair growth journey with Nutrafol. For a limited time, Nutrafol is offering our listeners $10 off your first month subscription and free shipping when you go to Nutrafol.com and enter the promo code Morning After. By now, over 4,500 healthcare professionals and stylists recommend Nutrafol for healthier hair. Nutrafol.com, spelled Nutrafol.com, and promo code Morning After. Nutrafol.com, promo code Morning After.
So my parenting question is then, if you knew there was a situation, would you call the parent of that child, or would you only deal with it in your own house?
I think I would try first to deal with it in my own house.
Okay.
You know, I a lot of times, and honestly, the girls have talked about this one boy at their school, and I just tell them to avoid. I'm like, listen, clearly there's some things going on here, so just avoid him. And if you can't do that, if he's not allowing you to avoid him, then it's a bigger discussion. But I do think it's something like you can't go after every kid that ever pokes them wrong. You know what I mean? So I do think it's something that you have to try to handle inside your house first. And then if it doesn't, you know, you would hope, I mean, if teachers give you the name, which a lot of times they won't because of this.
Yeah.
But I would talk to the parents, because I think as a parent too, if my girls were bullying someone and I had no idea, I would want to know, because we would handle it, right?
Yeah.
And I do think every parent would handle it. I would hope. That's like my hope. But I do think it's something that at first, like, you attempt to just fix it in home and see if they can handle it. And again, there's not going to be mommy and daddy every time when they're growing up to save them. So they have to kind of learn to deal with certain types of people.
Yeah.
So there's tough. That too. I know. Yeah. Well, Tyler's the bully, so there's my bully. God. I'm just, oh my God. When we were in Montana, this girl came up to me, and you know, it was a Highland Park girl, so Matthew's hometown. And she was with her girlfriends, and I thought maybe I was a little older than them, but not like really much older. And she came over and she was like talking to Matthew at first about Highland Park, and then she looked at with all her friends, and then she looked at me and she was like, "But your wife is awesome." She was like, and she goes, "My mom loves your podcast." And I was like, God damn it.
If you had to guess, how old do you think she was?
I don't know. And I don't know.
Like,
I mean,
20s?
For sure 20s.
20s.
Yeah. I was just like, waiting for her to be like, "We love your podcast." She was like, "My mom loves your podcast." And I was like, that just fucking hurts my soul.
Well, it might hurt your soul, but it makes the advertisers happy, because the moms are the ones buying everything, and we love you, moms.
No, we do love you. And her name was Megan, and she was a beautiful brunette with green eyes. And if that's your daughter, she was absolutely just very sweet and stunning, just a little dagger to the heart, but she was very kind about it all.
Well, speaking of our wonderful podcast, we asked our friends and our listeners and our followers to kind of come up with a name for, like we talked about how on Jeff Lewis's podcast that his crew is called their chumps. They're all chumps. Mm-hmm. And we were thinking, like, what could our posse be called?
Yeah, I love a posse.
We got a lot of input.
We did. And what we're going to do with that, we think, is we're going to do a little March Madness bracket. And we're going to have you guys vote on each bracket, and then the winner will be the name, which I think is so fun. Now, we're going to have to come up with a few more names, because there's like
Do we say what some of them were, that the DMs?
No. I think we put it in the bracket and just like let them see it then. Do you know, like, okay, so Matthew's on that New Heights show with Travis and Jason.
Yes, all my straight boys told me about it. They all listened to Matthew on the thing. Yes, and they enjoyed it. They enjoyed it very much. And then I saw social media clips of it, and a lot of people were commenting, which made me laugh. I read the comments. They were like, "Wow, this dude's like really chill. Like he's funny." And I'm just like, it's so funny when people who don't know him see him in another arena.
I know.
It was like when he, was on the Fox show with the NFL guys, and like he was so himself. And when people get a glimpse of that, they're like, holy shit, I'm used to those 1 minute sound bites after a game where you have to react the way you do after a game.
Yeah. Where he says everything that you expect him to say.
Right.
Like he's never going to give you.
It was a team effort. We're going to work to figure it out.
I wish I had these balls back. I wish, I got to play better. I mean, I can give his post-game interviews now if anybody wants them. I know we should try and like every game before he does it, like get one out there, see if it's anywhere close. No, but he did a great job. But they call their people the 92 percenters, which I don't. Does anyone know what that means?
No, I'll look it up though.
I know. I was very confused, but also like kind of love it because I'm like, what is it? But I guess Kiki is going to look at. Now I'm so nervous to say your name.
I'm so sorry. I know Matthew's second guessing it too now. And he was saying it correctly before.
I know.
The 92 percenters.
Yeah. Also, Matthew looked tiny next to them. I don't know if that was like a weird camera setup.
Well, I think Travis is very tall.
And he's big. I mean, he's a big dude.
And his brother is just kind of a broader dude.
Yeah.
So I think they're big. I mean, Matthew's what, 6'2", 6'3"?
Yeah, 6'3" on a good day.
Yeah, 6'3", but he is trim.
I know, he's so little.
He's not so little, but he's trim, and it's.
I mean, he looked very little. What does it mean, Kira?
Okay, so the 92 percenters are based on a poll that they ran, similarly to what we're going to do. They asked listeners how many of them actually listened to the entire episode, and 92% of the respondents said that they did.
Oh,
that's
I love that.
That's really good.
That's actually some clout right there.
I like that.
Yeah, 92%. That's high.
Shit. Are you guys still listening? We're at like 23% right now.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. You guys know I am very into health, and I'm so excited about Function. I'm testing with Function throughout the year and can't wait to share with you what's going on for me. What is Function? Well, it is an all-in-one health platform that starts with over 100 advanced lab tests covering your entire body. Heart, hormones, liver, kidneys, thyroid, autoimmunity, cancer signals, toxins, nutrients, and more. And it goes beyond the traditional healthcare. So if you even make it to your annual checkup every year, and let's be honest, I don't know if you guys do, they're only testing for 19 biomarkers. Function Health goes 5 times deeper, giving a comprehensive view that allows you to catch potential issues early and take proactive action. Not only that, they do a first test, a baseline test, and that helps establish the baseline of your health, giving you a starting point to compare future tests against. They have so many different options of tests you can run, but to be honest, I did the optimizing hormones test, and I also did the boosting metabolism. I can't even go into everything that they offer, but if you go and even just look at their website, you will be floored at what all you can do. Function currently has a wait list, but they are offering our audience the chance to skip it. You can head to functionhealth.com/morningafter or enter code morningafter when signing up to skip the wait list. Guys, I will say one thing, I obviously have a deal with them and I got something for free, but I just paid for a lot more because I want all the tests. So again, let's head to functionhealth.com/morningafter, or you can just enter the code morningafter when signing up to skip that wait list. This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Fiscally responsible, financial geniuses, monetary magicians. These are things people say about drivers who switch their car insurance to Progressive and save hundreds. Because Progressive offers discounts for paying in full, owning a home, and more. Plus, you can count on their great customer service to help you when you need it, so your dollar goes a long way. Visit progressive.com to see if you could save on car insurance. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Potential savings will vary. Not available in all states or situations. Oh my God. By the way, University of Michigan really coming in hot on the baseball celebration. Did you see that?
No. Baseball
Okay,
or basketball?
yes. University of Michigan baseball player, and I think he already apologized. And listen, kids are kids. They're young. They're going to make mistakes. But he slid into like third base or something, or one of the bases, and got called safe and snorted the line of chalk.
Very, very un-U of M. That's very Central Michigan. Wow.
That's very much Hank's school,
My
not U of M.
goodness. That's a little racy.
I mean, it was a little. I mean, I watch it and I go, "What just happened?"
Was it funny?
I mean, I think some people thought it was funny.
Honestly, I'm saying inappropriate.
No, and he apologized for it. He's like, "It's not the way I was raised." Could you imagine if you were a parent and that was your kid's celebration? I'd be like, "What the fuck just happened?"
I'm trying to see
doing?
this other headline that I saw out of.
He was super cute, though, the baseball player. Super
Oh,
cute
yeah,
kid.
U of M. So this was, I think they're trying to do this. They're
What are they
trying to get women's hockey, Division I hockey for women at U of M.
Cool.
Yeah,
that's
it's
really
been
cool.
a big push by our friend Denise Illich. She's like, women belong on
awesome.
the same ice as the men. And I love that. I mean,
That's cool.
Women's hockey is becoming a really big thing.
Well, you know what? I love that because you know what else is coming big is women's flag football. They're doing a talent ID camp at the Rams practice facility. Matthew and I are actually going to go and see it with the girls. And there are 300, there's like over 300 girls and 65 boys.
Wow.
And I do understand that flag football is probably more, popular in girls because that's the only football really offered than tackle. But like, I thought that was awesome. So we're going to take the girls so they can see it. But I do think, I agree. Like, if the girls want to play, let's figure out a way to let it happen.
Especially at a school like of that size. Now, Emma, in their kids club after school, you can pick every month different activities. And she picked that she wanted to do arts and crafts. And she also picked, which if I could like live stream it and charge, I think I would like pay this house off. She's going to do karate.
Wait, you have to ask to set up a camera. I'm not even kidding. Just be like, listen, we will cut everyone else out of it. We just need Emma.
I've shown you her cheerleading video before. I have to text it to you. We'll post it. But her cheerleading video was so extraordinary.
Kids sports, let me tell you what. We went to Tyler.
And it was actually one of those moments with Jeff when we sat, because they had like at the end of like 10 weeks, you could go and see the performance. And we sat there and we watched it. And he's like, how many weeks was this? And I'm like, 10. And he's like, whoa.
What?
Now she was the most peanut of the peanut. Most of them were like much older girls, like 9, 10. And she was 5 at the time.
She was baby.
Yeah, Stop. It was so cute.
I told Matthew, we went to the girls' first soccer game of the season 2 weeks ago, and Tyler is playing soccer on her own team. She's on 5 and under. She's 4 until June. So there's a bunch of 5-year-olds, and she's a fucking monster. She's 10 feet taller than everyone. I know she's not 10 feet tall, but that's what it seems. And I asked Matthew, I go, I didn't know she was tall. I had no idea. But she is tall and she is big and she uses her body and she is pushing people down. I literally had to tell her, I was like, you gotta calm down here. We had 2 against 5 because only 2 of our players wanted to play. Everyone else was crying on the sideline because they didn't want to play. So it was Tyler and one other chick. She scored 7 goals. 7.
Yeah, that's insane.
Well, and then we went.
Ryan is big at that age.
I know. And honestly, I threw some moms under the bus because I was like, hey, when my kids used to do this, I used to go out there with them and that like makes them feel more comfortable. And so their kids are like, yeah, mommy. And they all looked at me like, thanks a lot. Like, just what we wanted to do on a Saturday, play soccer. I'm so sorry.
No.
But we were on a high from Tyler's game. And then we went to the other game and we got our asses kicked. So ended on a not so high, but we're going to get there. Sports are, I'm going to U of M next or in 2 weeks.
For what?
Did you? Well, you know this, but I have someone that I know very well who has the same brain
I
tumor as
didn't
I
know she
did.
was. I at that point the decision hadn't been made about that it
Yeah,
was gonna same doctor.
Dr. Thompson.
Wow.
I know. So I mean, it's so crazy that you go through this life and they tell you you have a very rare tumor, and turns out someone you know very, very well has the same exact tumor 5 years later.
Wow.
So I'm gonna just go there and be there. Did I ever tell you, speaking of, did I ever tell you about the story about me calling Dr. Thompson?
No.
This happened probably 2 months ago. I was high on an edible. Okay, it was a Saturday, and I had put the kids to bed, and I was actually with Margaret and Paige. So maybe it was like 2 months ago. And they did not have an edible, but I did because they were having wine, and I just parent better the next day if I'm not drinking. So I had an edible, and Tyler came down with an earache, or maybe it was Hunter. I can't remember which one it was. And our doctor I texted Dr. Thompson, who is my brain surgeon in Michigan. And I was like,
world-renowned brain surgeon at the University of Michigan.
Yes, like does not have time for a child's earache. So I texted him. And I was like, by the way, he's going to hear this story and be like, this makes sense that she was on an edible. So I call him, or no, I text him. And I'm like, hey, Dr. Thompson, Tyler Hunter woke up with another earache. This is like the third one in, 2 months. And he was like, do you have time for a call? I'm actually with my ENT, which is the surgeon.
Oh my God.
So I called. And he's talking to me. He's like, well, has she ever been on antibiotics for an ear infection? I'm like, shouldn't he know this? Like, I talk to this doctor all the time. And I was like, yeah. And he was like, well, has she seen an ENT? And I was like, because, the pediatrician would refer you to the ENT, the pediatrician that I thought I was speaking to when I was speaking to my brain surgeon. And so we had like a 5-minute fucking conversation. And I realize that I am talking to the world-renowned brain surgeon, Dr. Thompson. And I go, oh my God, Dr. Thompson, I just realized I meant to call my pediatrician.
I can't even believe you were able to get out of bed the next day after that.
No, and Margaret and Paige are sitting there dying laughing after they realized that I have called the complete wrong doctor. And he was like, well, is your doctor have a similar name? And I was like, totally. His name's Dr. Bromberg. It's not even fucking close. I mean, but you know what? It was such an incredible mistake, because then him and I talked for a little bit, and it was so nice to catch up. And then honestly, 2 days later, I was calling him again, and I texted him. I said, hey, I'm calling you on purpose this time because the person that I know really well, I wanted to connect them. But yeah, it was one of those moments where I was like, ooh, I'm sure he was thinking I must have done a horrible job on that brain, because she is so all over the place.
I adored him, and he was just phenomenal. But
I know.
I'm glad you have his number. I currently, if anybody has a suggestion, I do need a new family doctor because mine retired, and I'm all about their pedigree and I need their cell phone number. So
when
if you
say
have a family doctor,
what does that mean?
Like when you have a cold, or you just need your general stuff, take your yearly physical. Yeah, like me. Emma has her pediatrician. Everything's fine. I just need an adult doctor. And my friend, a good friend of mine at work, said he had a great doctor and he's friends with him. And I called the office, and the office said, oh, he's not seeing patients. So I went back to my friend and I said, he's not seeing patients. He's like, well, he will see you, but he's going to call you. And I'm like, okay, well, tick tock, he's still not calling me. So I feel like I'm being delisted. So my only prerequisite, I don't care if they went to the medical school of Paris Hilton, if they can give me their cell phone number and write me a Z-Pack and some Flonase when I need stuff like that. That's all I need.
It is true. It's almost like when you get pink eye. You're like, I know it's pink eye.
Right.
I just need the drops, but I can't get those unless I have a prescription. I get it.
Thank you.
I get it. All right. Well, with that, with all of our doctor talk, we're going to have to sign off because it's
I remember the name of the place in Birmingham where I bought the food.
Okay.
It's called the Simply Good Kitchen.
The Simply Good Kitchen. Yes. That's been around for a while, hasn't it?
Yeah, but I just discovered it when I decided to go veganism.
Okay, well, good luck with that meal. It's definitely burnt in the oven right now. Because have you checked it?
I took it out of the oven. That's why
Oh,
I
you
wrote this
took it
posty
out.
note.
Oh,
Yeah.
I didn't even see you use a glove. Did you take it out with your hands?
No, did I take
Oh.
it out? Now you have me questioning whether I actually took it out.
I
Oh
don't
no, I
think-
turned the oven off. Does that count?
It's probably going to be overcooked, but you know what? We're going to save that story for next time. Guys, remember to rate 5 stars. Well, just rate if you're going to rate 5 stars. Subscribe to the YouTube. It's wildly entertaining. And yeah,
Tell your friends and family. Let them know that we have a community of fun and love.
Yes, and if you're Megan's mother, tell her and her friends to listen to it. You know, we can age that what's it called? Age the gap? No, that's wrong.
Bridge the gap.
Bridge that age gap. There it is. So, if you're Megan's mom, tell her about us. All right, guys. Well, until then, we will see you next week. Good luck to your college basketball teams, wherever you may lie. March Madness starts this week, which is very exciting. And you'd be looking for that bracket as well. But until then, have a splash.
Make a splash.